You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Happening today, some Sarasota residents protest an arrest that happened earlier this year with a live preview. A survivor of a mass shooting in Ohio is speaking out, says he feels bad for the gunman. We'll tell you why. And look at this video that's going viral, the act of kindness from one officer that's going further than he ever expected. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning, glad you're awake already. I'm Ray Collins. Stephanie Webb is off today. It is Tuesday, October the 2nd. Let's get the forecast now from First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, so another warm one in store for us again today. It looks like we're going to see some very warm temperatures this afternoon before we get a little bit of cloud cover starting to roll in here. Right now, everything is very quiet across the Suncoast, but there is a little bit more moisture in the atmosphere today. That will allow for a little bit better chance of rain showers in the later afternoon. Right now we're seeing the showers move across the peninsula, and it's a similar pattern to what we have seen for the last couple of weeks, only it's just getting late in the rain season, and we're just not going to see a lot of showery activity this week. Temperatures are generally holding in the mid to upper 70s most everywhere. We're on our way to another 90-degree day, though. We'll talk about that coming up with you.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. Here's the scene first off in Manatee County. A little blip there on State Road 70 westbound as you approach the interstate. Otherwise, all clear in Manatee County. Checking farther south, here's the scene in Sarasota County. Some issues in North and South 301 as you're around the Newtown area. And then checking our final map to the south, that'll show not much to report right now at 5:01 on your Tuesday morning. Some Sarasota residents upset about an arrest earlier this year plan to protest at police headquarters tonight. Our Marla Spence has both sides live from police headquarters. Marla?
Hey Ray, protesters will be here to protest what they call a night out for police brutality in Sarasota. Now those protesters will be highlighting two incidents that they say happened in Newtown almost 7 months ago. Those protesters are pushing for justice for Chad Washington and Jeremy Trebles following their arrests back in March and in April. Now the group says Chad Washington was tased by Sarasota police, but police say he was on spice and punching and biting them when they arrived to the scene. Now spectators that day claimed officers started the violence, but officers say Washington was resisting. Now the other incident happening back in April is when police say they approached Jeremy Trebles in his car. He then went into reverse, and that's when officers fired shots into the car. The group is calling for the firing of the officer, which is Officer Brandon Vermillion. That officer was involved in both of those cases. Just back in May, activists rallied those same incidents. The Sarasota Police Complaint Committee also met back in May when those rallies did happen. That meeting revealed that there was an internal investigation into the police brutality and the use of excessive force, but the police department says that all the officers involved in both cases acted appropriately in both of those cases, and in the case with the internal investigation has since been closed. Now when it comes to Jeremy Trebles' case, the police committee complaint says that that case has been in the hands of the state's attorney's office, and protesters are calling for Jeremy Trebles' cases and his charges to be dropped. Those protesters will be here at 6 o'clock tonight. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
A Northport High School football player is recovering this morning after a serious injury. This is a picture of a player named Wendy Renoir being wheeled off the field Friday night during a home game against Lakewood Ranch. The junior suffered a fracture of 2 vertebrae in his neck. He was covering a kickoff and when coming down to make a tackle and was hit head on. Now, he does have feeling and movement in all of the extremities and will not require surgery.
He's doing good. He's home now. Sore. You know, he's going to have a long recovery in front of him, but he's definitely he's lucky.
Get well, bro. I'm praying for you, and hope you get well soon.
We hope his recovery continues. And by the way, Northport did wind up winning that game last Friday night. Developing overseas, the race to find survivors of that massive disaster in Indonesia continues this morning. A 7.5 earthquake caused a tsunami that ravaged several major coastal cities Friday evening. At least 844 people are now counted dead, and the death toll is expected to rise. Officials believe hundreds are still buried in the mud and rubble there. Volunteers are preparing mass graves. For those that did survive, there is a fight to find food, as there is no food left in area stores. Police officers and civilians who took heroic actions during a deadly shooting last month at a bank in Cincinnati were honored last night. And this morning, we're hearing from a survivor who lost his spleen, but still feels sorrow for the gunman and his family.
And quickly on September 6th, Omar Perez walked into the lobby of the Fifth Third Center downtown and opened fire. Brian Sarver, the first person shot, was meeting there with Richard Newcomer and other contractors he supervised.
I felt something hit me. It didn't knock me down. I actually didn't even really feel pain from it at first. It was more trying to figure out what was going on.
Sarver and Newcomer, who was also shot, quickly got out of harm's way by diving down a staircase into the loading dock area. Both men were rushed to UC Medical Center. Sarver was hit once in the lower left side, and the bullet passed through his body.
My spleen ended up being hit in that shot, and ultimately I had to have emergency surgery to have my spleen removed.
The past few weeks have been a time of reflection for Sarver and his wife, Lisa. There's the question of why he lived and others didn't. There's also the wonder about why Perez shot him once, shot Whitney Austin 12 times, and then killed Luis Calderon, Newcomer, and Prithviraj Kandepi.
I feel sorry for him. I mean, obviously his family is suffering just the same as others. He was killed that day. I wish it wouldn't have happened.
But Sarver says it's fairly clear Perez was dealing with some sort of mental health issues.
There's obviously just something going on there that was wrong within his mind to have him do that. I got to believe that no one would ever really in their right mind want to do something like that to other people.
Sarver and his wife sat down with their 3 young children to discuss what happened.
We've tried to talk to them and explain to them that obviously in this world there's good and evil, and we always just pray for protection over our whole family every day. And again, I try to look at the positive sides of this, that I wasn't killed. It could have been much worse.
2 deadly plane crashes in less than 24 hours at the same small airport in Southern California. The second crash happened around noon yesterday when a small plane went down at Brackett Field Airport in Laverne near Los Angeles. Investigators say the pilot died. His passenger was injured. Then the previous night, Sunday night, another crash killed a man on board and injured a woman. Investigators say the crashes are not related. Democrats in the 17th local congressional district have chosen a candidate to run against State Senator Greg Steube in next month's election. Alan Ellison is the chairman of the Center for Economic and Policy Development in Highlands County. He'll replace April Freeman, who suddenly passed away last week of a possible heart attack. Now, Freeman's name will still appear on the ballot, but signs will be placed on polling places about the rules of their vote. Those with mail-in ballots will also get a note that explains Ellison will inherit all of Freeman's votes. Ellison and Steube are looking to replace retiring Congressman Tom Rooney in a district that includes the southern half of Sarasota County. And you can get a look at next month's ballot now. Sarasota and Manatee have their sample ballots online. This will be especially useful for non-English speakers. On Election Day, there won't be any Spanish ballots, and early voters won't get Spanish ballots either. For information on how to find those sample ballots to read now, you can find the story on our website, mysuncoast.com. A Texas woman is sharing her story about the actions of a trooper who went above and beyond to help. Rosalind Willis and her family had a flat tire and were stranded. That's when Trooper Ricky Walters saw them and stepped in to help. He changed their tire, and then it was time to return that favor. And that's when this happened.
I feel like that was a divine moment for me, that God used him to show me that everybody's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Not that I didn't know that before, but I just needed to see him with his servant's heart, and he wouldn't let us help him. He wanted to do it all, and he was just so loving and so sweet.
And after he changed the tire, the two locked hands and she prayed over the Texas trooper. Nice story there. 5:09 still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Conjoined twins getting ready to go through surgery in Australia. We'll have a preview. And later in the hour, what is that smell in the water? This time the East Coast is asking that question. 5:09 right now on your Tuesday morning. Here's a look outside at the Rosemary District, looking south at the downtown skyline of the city of Sarasota. As far as the drive time forecast goes, here's John Scalzi.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see a whole lot of driving rain today. I think we'll probably see a few scattered showers, but nothing so bad that it will interfere with your commute home. So I haven't checked the rain box, even though there's a little slightly higher rain chance today than there was 24 hours ago. We'll call it isolated storms as temperatures are in the upper 80s on the way home. This morning, no issues whatsoever. No airport delays at any of the hubs serving Sarasota International, according to the FAA. Forecast in a second.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
At Boys and Girls Clubs, it's not just about trying new things.
Tanya, come here.
Learning the right steps. 2, 3, 4. Or making contact. It's not just about exploring the future. It's about helping them build it. It's about making the connection. It's about proving every kid and teen who enters our doors has what it takes. Great futures start here.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
76 degrees our air temperature, dew point value coming in a degree lower at 75. So we are looking again at another morning with very high relative humidity and kind of a sticky feel to the air as we develop an east-northeast wind coming in at about 5. A little bit of a northerly component to the wind helping to draw down a little additional moisture in upper levels of the atmosphere and mid levels of the atmosphere just above the surface. And that is allowing for slightly better rain chances as we head into the afternoon. But the rain chance at about 30% by 3 p.m. as we have plenty of sunshine to start the day with building clouds in the afternoon. Daytime highs will again be warm. We had the warmest September on record in 9 locations across Florida. And for us here on the Suncoast, it was the 3rd warmest September. Unbelievably warm. And that trend continues on again today with temperatures cracking the 90-degree mark and feels like temperatures over 100 again. We're watching a few scattered showers over on the other coast, an indication of that easterly wind flow that continues on again today. The easterly wind flow helping to bring those showers across the coastline, but more importantly, as the air comes over the land heats the air, and then the air moves into our area, giving us another warm afternoon on the west coast. This is the water vapor imagery. It shows you the swirls and motions in the atmosphere, shows you where the warm area, or the moist air is and where it is not. Turquoise colors indicate a little bit higher moisture in the air. The tan colors indicate drier air. We had a lot of drier air across the region yesterday. Now, some of that moist air is beginning to sink a little bit further to the south, and consequently, we've upped the rain chance just a little bit. Another way to look at this is the moisture available for rain graphic. This shows you the total amount of moisture in the air from the surface all the way to the tip of the sky. And in this graphic, redder is wetter. So here, if we put it into motion, you'll see that dry air, the moist air rather, kind of swooping across the area today. Tomorrow, we get more of the dry air. Cooler colors indicate the drier air. And so our rain chances go up today, but they go down again tomorrow. Then as we head into Thursday, we have another chance of seeing some more moisture work its way closer to us, and consequently, again, a slightly higher chance of seeing some showers around. So this is kind of the roller coaster ride that we take over the next several days. One day, a little bit higher moisture content air. The next day, not so much. The next day, higher moisture content air again. Well, looking at the tropics, we've got a couple of places we continue to monitor. One, we have this area, of course, out in the Atlantic. That's Leslie. No issue for us whatsoever. But we also have disturbance number 1. Disturbance number 1 has about a 20% chance of building over the course of 5 days. This has popped up, and it'll deserve our attention as we head into this time of year. The Caribbean, Gulf waters, near Atlantic are all favored locations for tropical development as we pay less attention to the open waters. So we'll keep an eye on it. Some computer models do suggest a formation here. It moves off to the north to the west and perhaps eventually into Gulf waters if it's not totally absorbed by land masses. We'll keep an eye on it through the weekend. Forecast for us calls for east wind coming in at about 5 to 10 today, maybe surging a little bit during the afternoon. And the forecast over the extended range, 30% chance today. No rain, I don't think, tomorrow. And then a better rain chance on Thursday with that next slug of moisture, reducing rain chances again for the weekend. Back to you, Ray.
All right, talk to you again. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. Here is the scene so far in Manatee County. Not much to report so far. Farther south, here's the scene on the northern half of Sarasota County. Some red on the map westbound on Clark Road as you leave the interstate area and head toward Palmer Ranch and the Honore area. Farther south now, here's the last map we'll show you, South County region, and that'll show all clear except for one little blip there on 75 southbound as you're crossing from the Sarasota to Charlotte County area. Back to the news now. An FBI investigation continues into Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. As ABC's John Lawrence tells us, more information is emerging, both negative and positive.
More plot twists in the Brett Kavanaugh soap opera. Among the latest, Kavanaugh was accused of starting a bar fight in 1985 while he was a Yale student. New Haven police say tensions flared after Kavanaugh allegedly threw ice at someone.
When he was asked by the officers whether or not he did it, he would not state yes or no.
The police report doesn't indicate whether anyone was arrested. Even some critics of Kavanaugh say his drinking in the past shouldn't disqualify him from the Supreme Court, but they say his words might.
He has painted himself as a choir boy who never engaged in any of this behavior, and all of the evidence seems to go the other way.
President Trump says Kavanaugh is being attacked unfairly by the Democrats.
They've been trying to destroy him since the very first second he was announced because they know that Judge Kavanaugh will follow the Constitution as written. That's been his history.
Judge Kavanaugh's nomination is out of committee. We're considering it here on the floor, and Mr. President, we'll be voting this week.
One person who will play a major factor in that vote, Republican Senator Jeff Flake, who triggered the latest investigation into Kavanaugh.
Decency shouldn't be that hard, but it apparently is.
The politics of vengeance, that's easy. Dehumanization requires very little talent.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And as far as that college bar fight goes at Yale, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders tweeted Monday night blasting that report as a ridiculous story. Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, HP has launched a brand new notebook. What it's made of that's making this one of a kind. And later in the hour, video of an employee throwing water on a homeless man in a restaurant. We'll have the family's reaction and more on the investigation. There's a live shot of the U.S. Capitol. 5 weeks from today is the midterm elections. D.C. right now experiencing 67 degrees and clouds. They'll see a high of 81. Back on the Suncoast, a high here of 92. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Welcome back. It's Tuesday morning, 5:23 here on the Suncoast. There's a shot of the Sarasota area. Very peaceful there right now. We'll have John Scalzi's forecast in just a few minutes. All right, check out this video that's gone viral on social media. It shows an employee at Dunkin' Donuts dumping water on a homeless man who was sleeping in the restaurant. Jeremy Young is that homeless man. His family says he's constantly mistreated because he is homeless. A GoFundMe account has been created to replace his property that got wet by the water there, and Dunkin' Donuts says they'll be getting in touch with Young to apologize for what the worker did to him while he slept in their store in Syracuse, New York. Microsoft will unveil new products today at an event previewing today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a big day for Microsoft.
The company's holding an event this afternoon here in New York City where new products will be unveiled. Microsoft's expected to show off a new Surface laptop, a new Surface Pro, as well as an update to Windows 10. And here's a new product from HP, a laptop made of leather.
The Spectre Folio device is bound in genuine leather. The company is touting its stylish design and a battery that provides 18 hours of power. One version launches at the end of the month. Prices start about $1,300. And the machines are moving into the construction business.
A Japanese company has designed a robot that can install drywall and do other tasks. Developers say the robots would replace Japan's aging workforce, and they'd also replace humans on more dangerous jobs.
They're not very quick, though.
They look cool.
Yeah.
Well, those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Edward Jones.
So I got an offer on the business, and now I'm thinking I'd like to retire early.
Oh, that's great, Sarah. Let's talk about this when we meet next week.
How did Edward Jones come to manage $1 trillion in assets under care?
Jay?
Sarah, so I have a few thoughts on that early retirement.
By focusing our mind on whatever's on yours.
With Advil, you'll ask, what's sore back? What bum knee? Advil is relief that's fast, strength that lasts. You'll ask, what pain? With Advil.
Olay Regenerist wipes out the competition. Hydrating better than $100, $200, even $400 creams. With our B3 complex, beautiful skin doesn't have to cost a fortune. Olay.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Jennifer Irvine, 42, San Diego, California.
Overnight, names were read aloud in Las Vegas in honor of the mass shooting victims who lost their lives 1 year ago. Now that October is here, so too is flu season, the extra precautions that you need to take. And a couple celebrates their 80th anniversary, what they say the secret is to their marriage. Those stories and much more this hour on Good Morning Suncoast. Welcome back, 5:30 right now on this Tuesday morning, October the 2nd. Hello, early risers. I'm Ray Collins. Stephanie Webb is off today. Another guy celebrating 23 years of happy marriage, meteorologist John Scalzi.
Indeed, I'm a lucky guy. We're looking at a little bit of cloud cover across the Gulf waters, not a whole lot over land, and consequently with a mostly sunny start, it'll allow us to boost our temperatures up pretty quickly into the 80s and eventually even the 90s. So we're having another warm afternoon in store for us with feels-like temperatures probably cracking the 100 mark again today. Now, there's not a lot of going on right now. Satellite view shows fairly clear skies, as I mentioned, and radar is quiet, but we are seeing the effect of an easterly wind flow even at this hour, with a few scattered showers working their way into inland areas. A little further inland today than they were yesterday at this hour, and that could be in part a function of the a little bit better moisture content of our air today, which may allow for a few more showers around in our neck of the woods. Temperatures generally in the mid-70s inland areas, upper 70s closer to the coast, and today we will top it out with about a 30% chance of rainfall and a temperature in the low 90s. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic right now. So far, so good. No major issues in Manatee County. Checking farther south. Here's the picture right now in the northern half of Sarasota County. A little congestion there on 301 in both directions around Newtown. Otherwise, all clear. And then finally, our last map will show 41 southbound just beyond Business 41 at the curve in 41 as you head toward Jacaranda. Some congestion there. Otherwise, all clear at 531. Well, the usual fun on the Las Vegas Strip was set aside last night for a somber ceremony near the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. City officials held a ceremony to honor victims of last year's mass shooting. Reporter Max Darrow was there.
Brett Schwarnbeck.
58 victims.
Jennifer Irvine, 42.
58 faces gone.
Sandy Casey, 35.
But 58 people.
Tara Rowe, 34.
Will never be forgotten.
Derek Taylor, 56. Bonita, California.
Vegas strong. It's a phrase everyone in Las Vegas knows well, but it means something a little bit different to every person.
I think of it as a city coming together.
The resiliency of the community coming together to pay tribute to those who did pass, and then also celebrate the life of those who are still here with us.
We're together and we're strong, and whether you're here for a month or you're here for 15 years, you're a Las Vegan, and we're proud to have you here.
Those words, Vegas strong, decorating the Healing Garden downtown, a place dedicated in honor of the victims and the survivors.
On October 1st, 2017, a senseless act of violence shattered a community's heart.
But on October 1st, 2018, and every day in between, that community continued to rebuild its heart. Hannah Ewell says the wound may always be there, but the healing will never stop.
And I don't know if you'll ever be healed, but I think it's constant healing from the day after until now. It's just constant people being there for one another.
Together, on 1 October, 1 year later, those people, this community, cemented a place that will stand Vegas strong for the generations to come.
Candace Bowers.
The shooter in last year's attack was found dead in his hotel room from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. No motive was ever officially confirmed on that tragedy. Red tide has now surfaced on Florida's east coast. State wildlife officials say test results have shown a toxic algae bloom is causing problems now around Palm Beach County beaches. Several beachgoers reported respiratory and skin problems.
The last time I feel like it was this empty was like during the hurricane when we came and the whole island was shut down, so very weird.
FWC has reported red tide on the East Coast only 8 times since the 1950s, and usually the side effects last for a shorter period of time and are seen in lower concentrations than on the West Coast. For months, the red tide has plagued us here from Naples to Clearwater and killed hundreds of tons of marine life. In fact, if you want to find all of our red tide coverage, including answers to your questions, online at mysuncoast.com, and then click on the red tide category. Looking ahead, don't be surprised if you are short or to get an alert on your cell phone tomorrow. FEMA will conduct a test of the National Wireless Alert System. It'll happen at 2:18 p.m. You'll see the words "a presidential alert" on the screen. According to FEMA, this test will allow them to determine if improvements are indeed needed. Flu season is now underway, and doctors say after last year's outbreaks, it's more important than ever to get a flu shot. The CDC estimates 80,000 people died from the flu last year nationwide, and there were over 900,000 hospitalizations nationwide. Health experts say that physicians are better prepared now for this year's flu season.
It wasn't an exact match last year in terms of the flu vaccine. They did a better match this year in terms of anticipating what that would be. Even with an incorrect match, the flu vaccine still protected individuals from the severity of the influenza virus.
Now, those with the highest risk during flu season are the elderly and infants and smokers with chronic lung conditions. Verizon is making the fastest internet even faster now. In fact, Sacramento is one of the first 4 test cities. 5G wireless internet became available to parts of that city. The speed is 25 to 60 times faster than the current 4G Verizon coverage. New customers get a 3-month trial period before paying $70 a month. Returning customers pay $50 a month. Customers began signing up 2 weeks ago.
I'm getting a groundbreaking technology right to my front door, something that just hasn't ever existed before, so I couldn't be more excited.
This is not only a big day for Sacramento, it's a big day for the country and the world. 5G is launching in 4 cities, and Sacramento is one of them, not just in the country, but in the entire world.
Now, other cities getting 5G are Houston, Indianapolis, and also Los Angeles. Happening tonight, Northport Police will host a National Night Out event at 6 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. at Northport City Hall. It's an event that allows residents a chance to get to know police officers, first responders, and also get to know each other. The social network Instagram has a new CEO. Adam Mosseri worked at sister company Facebook since 2008. Facebook bought Instagram in 2012. Mosseri most recently served as Instagram's vice president of product. In his new role, he'll oversee all functions of the business and also hire a new executive team. All right, look at this couple. They hold the secret to a lasting marriage. Ray and Rosa Clark shared their stories during their 80th wedding anniversary in Arkansas. The couple celebrated with friends and family. He looks like it's the son. So what's the secret to a long-lasting marriage? Here's his answer.
It's made us to stay together all these years because we've always went to church and served the Lord until we've gotten out to where we're not able hardly to get there, but we in our heart, we still feel that way.
They have been married since 1938. Good for them. Looking ahead till tomorrow, Sarasota Police will host Coffee with a Cop. It'll take place at Pastry Art, which is on Main Street east of Lemon, from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m. The department's goal is to build a stronger relationship with the community and also answer any concerns or issues facing residents. A pair of conjoined twins from Bhutan are going to have a life-changing operation to separate. The 14-month-old girls, Dawa and Nima, arrived with their mother earlier this morning in Melbourne, Australia. Doctors said they would undergo a physical exam and scans to determine the best plan for their separation. Wow. You don't see that too often. 5:38 right now, still ahead. Some Sarasota residents plan to protest at police headquarters involving an arrest earlier this year. We'll have a live report coming up on Good Morning Suncoast. It's 5:38 right now. There's a shot outside our studios. As far as the bus stop forecast goes for this morning, here's John Scalzi.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Again, this morning, I don't think we'll have much of an issue. The bus stop forecast shows a few, perhaps, clouds around during the morning with a temperature of 77 under mostly clear skies. But by the trip home, it'll be warm. We'll have a little more cloud cover, and there's the slightest little risk of an isolated shower. So today, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Chance of an outside recess, and it'll be partly sunny and warm with just isolated storms. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Cancer doesn't run in my family. That really was the farthest thing from my mind. I've been an athlete my whole life and I work in sports, so my mindset was just, let's fight. So our stories are all unique, so whatever you're going through, ask questions, get information and be involved. Don't ignore the signs, join the fight. I'm Tony Beasley and I'm a stage 2 colorectal cancer survivor.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Just subtle changes between what we're having this morning in our weather and what we had yesterday morning in our weather. 76 degrees the air temperature, dew point 75. The wind shifted just a little bit to the north now, east-northeast, coming in at about 5 miles per hour. Humidity is still kind of high out there at 96%. As we progress through the morning hours, we'll have plenty of sunshine that'll help boost our temperatures into the 80s. But then as we head into the afternoon, clouds will begin to build. As they build, we'll have a few showers around, but not many. And the rain chance at about 30% is only 10% higher than it was 24 hours ago. The reason for the increase in the rain chance is a little bit of moisture that's slipped into our mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. Temperature coming in again today at about 91 or 2 degrees. That represents a feels-like temperature of over 100 once again. We're looking at quiet conditions on radar right now, but we are seeing a few scattered showers over on the other coast. The easterly wind, what's going on there? The east wind, of course, with a long fetch over Atlantic waters, picking up the moisture, creating a few showers. And as they get closer to the coastline, they fizzle out pretty quickly, although they have moved a little further inland than they did 24 hours ago. But still, they have a hard time making it across the entire peninsula, so our rain chance, not that great. We do have a little bit more moisture indicated here by these turquoise colors sinking southward across central Florida today. The very dry air of the brownish colors, the tan colors, is kind of being replaced by that little slug of moisture, but it doesn't last long. It will soon be replaced by dry air again tomorrow, and the rain chance for today vanishes tomorrow. High pressure across the mid-Atlantic Carolinas is again bringing us that easterly wind flow. We do have a trough, a front, located back to the north of us, but it's separating warm air from cold air, and it's not going anywhere. So we really don't see much in the way of any kind of cooler weather coming our way this week. In fact, the long-range forecasts from the Weather Prediction Center indicate a 30-day forecast of above-average temperatures, and in fact, even a 3-month forecast for above-average temperatures. So I think we're kind of in these warmer weather patterns for a while now. East wind comes in again today, taking the showers, pushing them across the coast. Mostly sunny skies to start, but then watch for those afternoon clouds to build. Warm again with a few afternoon showers around. Look at the cooler temperatures back to the north, though. Doesn't that look pretty nice, actually? 40 degrees in Minuet and Minneapolis coming in at 49. Kansas City at 60. Atlanta 68. We don't get anything like that. We're in the temperatures that are solidly in the 70s and will be all week long. The Futurecast shows the few scattered showers trying to work their way a little bit closer to us. By about 3 p.m., I think we'll start to see those showers building in inland areas, 1 or 2 of them anyway. I don't know if they'll be quite this strong as this particular model indicates, but you get the idea. And then as we head into the evening hours, I think we'll start to see a lot of this shower activity wind down pretty quickly. By 7 o'clock, I think it's all over, and we're looking at pretty quiet conditions during the overnight. So your forecast is kind of shaping up like this today for beach and boating. East wind comes in at about 5 to 10, becoming a little more easterly during the nighttime at about 15, kind of picking up speed just a little bit. And a 30% chance of showers today with a high of 92. Tomorrow, I don't see a big chance of rain as we get that drier air starting to filter in, but another slug of moisture gives us a chance of rain on Thursday. So Tuesday and Thursday are 2 real rain days. As we head into the weekend, we'll start to lower those rain chances again, and I think the weekend should feature at least half of it being pretty dry and warm as well. And we really don't get back into the 80s, I don't think, until next week, and even then may have to adjust that as we get closer to the week. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, John. Traffic building now on Manatee Avenue West in the eastbound lane as you head toward the Braden River. Also a little blip there up in Palmetto, northbound 301. Let's check farther south. Now here's the scene in the northern half of Sarasota County. Not much to report so far in the red, and then our final map to the south will show all clear at 5:47 on your Tuesday morning. Happening today, some Sarasota residents upset about an arrest earlier this year plan to protest at police headquarters tonight. Our Marla Spence has both sides of the story now live from police headquarters. Marla?
Hey, Ray, yeah, those protesters will be out here for what they call a night out against police brutality in Sarasota. Those protesters will be highlighting 2 incidents that happened in Newtown almost 7 months ago. Now, they will be pushing for justice for Chad Washington and Jeremy Trevels following their arrests back in March and in April. Now, the group says Washington was tased by Sarasota police, but officers say when they arrived to the scene, he was on spice and was punching and biting officers. Now, the other incident happening back in April is when police say they approached Jeremy Trevels in his car. He was then reversing his car, and that's when officers fired shots into the car. Now, the group is calling for the firing of Officer Brandon Vermillion. The officer involved in both cases just back in May. Activists rallied these same incidents and met with the Sarasota Police Complaint Committee. That meeting revealed that there was an internal investigation, and it found that all of the Sarasota police officers who were involved acted appropriately in both cases. But still, those protesters are still wanting justice, and they plan to be here at 6 o'clock tonight. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen says his non-Hodgkin's lymphoma has returned. The 65-year-old was last treated for the same disease back in 2009. He is being treated again and plans to, quote, fight this aggressively. He doesn't intend to let cancer slow him down, he says. He says he'll be involved with all his current projects and his 2 professional sports teams he owns as well. Allen co-founded Microsoft with Bill Gates back in 1975. He left in 1983 when he was diagnosed then with a similar disease. Well, today's Hollywood Minute features a trio of music men, one on the big screen, one on tour, and one who's offering quite a trip. David Daniel has our story.
And I think it's gonna be touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, 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 oh rockin' man.
Here's your first look at Taron Egerton as music legend Elton John in Rocket Man. Billed as based on a true fantasy, Rocket Man takes off next summer. John Legend has the Christmas spirit. The recently crowned EGOT winner has announced his first Christmas album with a tour to go with it. A Legendary Christmas hits stores October 26th. The 25-date tour launches November 15th in Clearwater, Florida, and wraps up December 30th in San Diego, California. More details at johnlegend.com.
Puerto Rico.
Lin-Manuel Miranda wants you. Donate $10 or more through Prizeo to help revitalize the arts in Puerto Rico, and you could win a trip to San Juan to see Miranda reprise his Hamilton starring role in his ancestral homeland. You'll hit the after party with the cast and have a cooler story than any of your Hamilton-loving friends. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Meghan McCain is returning to The View. In a tweet on Monday, she said she's ready to get back on the horse to return to the show on October 8th. She's been away for more than a month after the death of her father, Senator John McCain. Her tweet included a sketch of herself in a boxing ring, along with a quote from Rocky Balboa, the wise philosopher. It's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard can you get hit and keep moving forward. Good for her. Well, if you love Chipotle, then you'll love this next story. The company just debuted a program that's offering customers perks with every purchase. It's called Chipotle Rewards. A point-based system gives customers points for every dollar they spend. Each dollar spent is worth 10 points. After 1,250 points, you get a free entree. The first 3 cities to try it are Phoenix, Kansas City, and Columbus, Ohio. Look at this. Russia's biggest calendar cover man is back. The 2019 Vladimir Putin calendar is on sale in Russia. It should be very popular. If not, there's trouble. The picks depict Putin as a strong man, whether he's atop a horse, cuddling a leopard, or bare-chested fishing in a wild river. 5:51 right now. Here is a look at the downtown lights in Sarasota. It's 5:51 right now. We'll update some of the day's top news headlines and talk to John Scalzi one last time this hour next on Good Morning Suncoast.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
When ABC7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
It's rainy season on the Suncoast. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When there's the potential for severe weather, you need to know fast. Trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather to get you the information you need right away. We focus on the storms that impact where you live, and we're committed to alerting you with important information as soon as we get it. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Welcome back. 5:55 right now on this Tuesday morning. Here are the headlines as you awaken this morning. Democrats in the 17th Congressional District have chosen Alan Ellison of Highlands County in next month's election. We'll show you a picture next hour. He'll replace the late April Freeman, who passed away last week of an apparent heart attack. So Ellison will now face State Senator Greg Stubbe. Sarasota City Commissioners gave a local historic designation to the Selby House on the campus of Selby Gardens. William and Marie Selby built the house back in 1922. Tonight is National Night Out for Northport Police. Residents are encouraged to stop by City Hall from 6 until 8:30 p.m. One last peek of the forecast now from John Scalzi.
Ray, thanks very much. Today we're looking at three things that I think will highlight the forecast. That is a sunny start, but watch for those building afternoon clouds. Plus, slightly better chances for rainfall today. That may help break the heat in a few locations, but all in all, it will be a very warm day again today. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, John. Next hour, details are now emerging of a fatal boat accident last weekend off Lido Key that killed a local college student who's here from Pennsylvania. Very tragic story involving a boat propeller. That story next hour right here, the second hour of Good Morning Suncoast. I'm Ray Collins. We'll see you in about 2 minutes. Stay with us.